Hey, this is Joe from Home Studio Corner, and today I want to share with you my top 10 recording mistakes. If you want better recordings and mixes, avoid these. Mistake number 10, clipping. Clipping is so detrimental and so avoidable. Back in the old days of recording to analog tape through analog consoles, you got bonus points for recording things hot. The signal sounded a little bit better, and you had a better signal-to-noise ratio. On digital systems, that's not really a thing. If I record a signal at peaking at -1 and peaking at -10, there's no difference in the sound quality of those signals. It's just that this one is dangerously close to clipping. And musicians are notorious for playing and singing a lot louder during the actual take than they do when you're doing sound check and getting levels. So give yourself some headroom to allow the musicians to play and sing louder and to make sure that you don't come anywhere close to clipping. Mistake number 9, out-of-tune instruments. This may come as a surprise to you, but I hear it all the time. Someone will send me a song and say, Joe, I just can't get the guitar to sit right in the mix. What am I doing wrong? And when I listen, the first thing I hear is that the guitar is out of tune. No amount of mixing magic is going to make an out-of-tune guitar sound good. I'll spend upwards of 5 minutes or more between takes tuning my guitar to make sure I get it perfectly in tune. It's time well spent. Tune and tune often. Mistake number 8, too much outboard processing. It's really fun to use outboard gear like outboard preamps, channel strips, EQs, compressors. They can be really fun, but they can also burn you. Here's a story. I was recording bass and drums for an EP of my own music. We got everything set up, got levels set, and the drums sounded good, and I was in such a hurry and so excited to get started, I said, let's roll. But what I didn't do was listen to each individual microphone of the kit to make sure it sounded good. Well, you know how this story goes. After the musicians had packed up and gone home, I listened back to the tracks and realized the compressor on the snare drum was way too aggressive. I had dialed it in and didn't listen specifically to just that microphone, just that channel, and I jacked up the entire snare drum recording. So, learn from my mistake. Don't avoid outboard gear altogether, but give it proper respect because it will burn you. Mistake number 7, wrong mic placement. Think of microphones like flashlights. Even a slight change of an inch or two in the position of the microphone completely changes what that microphone, quote unquote, sees. So when you're recording with a microphone, it's a good idea to at least try 2 different positions and compare the 2 to make sure you're getting the right placement. Mistake number 6, not having a chart. Oh, I'll remember how this song goes, famous last words, especially when you're recording in the studio where the vocals are coming later and right now you're just recording instrumentals. It's easy to get lost. Having a chart helps prevent that. Also, charting out the song before the recording session forces you to make decisions on things like how long is the intro? What do we play after the chorus before verse 2? How many of the bridges are we doing? What's the outro? Do we end on the 1? These are all decisions that'll bring a recording session to a grinding halt if you wait to make them until you're in the moment playing. And if there's more than one musician, that's pretty chaotic. So you're starting and stopping. Wait, what do we play here? Wait, what do we play here? Wait, what do we play here? If it was all on a piece of paper on a chart, everyone follows it just like following a roadmap, saving you a lot of time and frustration on your recording sessions. Mistake number 5, the wrong key. Nothing is as demoralizing as recording a bunch of great sounding music only to discover it's too high for the singer. When you're doing your planning phase, your pre-production for the project, make sure you nail down what's the right key for this song for the singer. Otherwise, you might find yourself having to do a bunch of things over. Mistake number 4, wrong tempo. This one ties into the previous one, and while technology has advanced to the point where we can take an entire song and speed it up or slow it down, it's always better to make those decisions beforehand. So again, while you're doing pre-production, make sure you take time to really hone in on what the right tempo is for the song. Here's a piece of advice. Use the chorus and have the singer present. Have the singer sing the chorus at the tempo, and that will tell you if you've chosen the right tempo. A lot of times bands will pick the tempo based on the intro, and they'll start recording, and then by the time they get to the chorus, the singer comes in and says, no, that's way too fast, I can't sing the words. It's important to make these decisions before you start laying down recordings. Number 3, all skate syndrome. Nashville session musicians have funny little sayings that they use. One of them is, if everyone's coming in from the song at the top of the song, they'll say, okay, it's an all skate. Everybody in at the same time. I'm having flashbacks to elementary school birthday parties at the Yazoo City Skate Center. Anyway, home studio musicians can fall into this trap of having everyone play the entire song for 4 minutes and leaving out some dynamics. Now, for certain songs and styles of music that can work, but I like to weave some dynamics into my song to where everyone's not playing from start to finish. Here's an example. Intro, all skate. Verse 1, drums, bass, and acoustic guitar. Chorus 1, add electrics. Verse 2, drums and bass only. Chorus 2, all skate, add in the B3. Bridge, all skate. Chorus 3, acoustic guitar for the first half, and then all skate for the second half, and then outro, all skate. How many times did I say all skate? Mistake number 2, wall of sameness. Similar to mistake number 3, another common mistake is to have everyone playing the same thing. If you've got a production with acoustic guitars, electric guitars, and keyboards, and they're all just playing chords, you're just creating a wall of sameness. Add in some variation to it. Perhaps the electric guitars are playing something higher up on the neck, and maybe some of the keyboards are playing long, lush pads, while other keyboards are playing simple little melodies. And maybe the acoustic guitars aren't both playing the exact same thing, but one is capoed and the other isn't. These are ways to add interest to the recording, so it's not just a bunch of musicians banging out the same 4 chords for 4.5 minutes. Mistake number 1, being okay with a bad performance. In other words, using the dreaded phrase, "We'll just fix it in the mix." No, that phrase should be banned from your studio forever. If you want better mixes, you need to focus on getting better recordings. If you want better recordings, you've got to stop settling for bad performances. I'm not saying it has to be perfect, but if you know you have a better take in you, put in the work and the practice to get a recording that you're proud of. It'll be frustrating and difficult, but you'll be glad you did it. Okay, that wraps up today's video. Have you made any of these mistakes? It's okay if you have. I've made all of them, but hopefully this video will help you avoid some of them on your next project. Hey, if you haven't checked out my free recording cheat sheet, it's absolutely free. You can grab your copy at recordingcheatsheet.com. Check it out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.